Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome back to our continued adventures with the Trench Raid from Compass Games. In the first half of our mission, Private Eric got lost in the shattered forest, but we did find the wounded pilot in a building off in no man's land. We've assigned Private Dave to carry him back, and now it's time to see if we can get the remaining 8 men of our patrol back to our lines safely. There's a good bit of distance and a lot of danger in front of us. Let's find out what happens. So just a quick recap of where we are so far. We left our trenches here, wandered up through these ruined buildings, got to this shattered forest here. That's where our second bomber, Eric, got lost. He's wandering around somewhere in no man's land. We'll find out his fate at the end of the mission. We then made our way up and found the ruined building where we found our wounded pilot. Private Dave is carrying our wounded pilot back. We started with 10 men. That leaves us with 8 current members of our patrol. Our mission now is to get back here safely. We're going to follow largely the same route, I think, that we took, although we might cut through the wire here. Let's start making our way home here. We're going to head off into this crater first. That will afford us some protection should we get hit by machine gun fire, and I think some other protections as well. Now, we don't have to map any terrain. We know everything that's around here. So the simple thing we have to do first is to roll to see if there's an event. And we know that on a 1 to 3, there is an event in a crater. We get a 4. Excellent. Quiet for us right now. Let's continue on now down into the shattered forest where we lost Eric the first time. An event happens on a 1 or a 2. 6. This is excellent work for us now. We're sliding through here. So far, no incidents. Let's head over into the ruined building. This also gives us less of a possibility of an event. An event on a 1 or a 2. A 5. We're doing excellently so far. We are approaching visibility of our lines now. We're going to go fall through this one building again. An event on a 1 or a 2. There it is. Okay, so something happened. Now we need to roll the 20-sided die to see what type of event happens to us. Get a 17. Tempting souvenirs. Tempting souvenirs. Let's read the flavor text here. An enemy corpse has a souvenir you just can't resist. An iron cross, a picklehall helmet, or a Luger pistol. Unfortunately, without ammunition. Each soldier must attempt an average command roll representing the soldier's self-discipline to resist the lure of the souvenirs. On a failure or botch, the soldier picks up the souvenir, and if they are already carrying the maximum amount of equipment allowed, they must drop 1 piece of equipment of the player's choice. The dropped equipment may not be taken by another soldier. So let's go through our ranks here and see which one of us pick up souvenirs. My command rating, I'm a bastion of self-discipline here. I've got 4, plus I'm a politician, so I'm +1. I'm not sure that self-discipline and politician go together, but we'll run with it. 5 dice, I just need 1 5 or a 6. Oh my goodness, I am so self-disciplined. I don't even consider picking up that helmet. Let's go to Nelms. Nelms succeeds 2 and maintains his discipline. Rifleman 2, Parkera. We all have 3 dice. That's a normal one. No problems for Parkera. Scotzo is up next. He succeeds. Warboard irons the picklehall helmet. No, he holds. Edward H. I must say, we are an extremely well-disciplined patrol here. Not a single soldier yet has reached out for one of these tempting souvenirs. William C. eyes that iron cross, but looks at my steely-eyed glare and considers it, no, that would be a breach of discipline. Only our last NCO, Scott, is left. Oh, he fails! Okay, so what's Scott going to pick up? So, I'm not going to use luck on this. It seems, I think we want to save our luck, because bad things can happen fast out here. Scott reaches down and grabs an iron cross. I've just written that in here, and then we're going to have him throw his compass away here. He's at the back of the line, so nobody saw him do that. So he's got a nice souvenir here. We do have, Parkera also has a compass. So worst case, if we get lost, Parkera can probably save us. And that is the Tempting Souvenirs event. Home is just a short distance away from us. We've had a very unique patrol in that we haven't had anyone wounded or hurt yet. Now, I think the best thing to do actually for us is to try to cut through this wire. It's going to be faster than going around, and we have enough people that have wire cutters to be able to do that. So we head up into the hex with the barbed wire. The first thing we need to do is to roll for an event, but an event with barbed wire is only on a 1 on a D to 6. Ooh, I thought we were going to get a 1, a 2. So no event for us there. We just have to cut the wire now, and if we cut the wire, then we're back home and we've successfully made it back. We have 3 soldiers equipped with wire cutters, so we are well prepared for getting through enemy wire. Scotzo has wire cutters, Warboard and William C. have wire cutters. It is a strength event to try to cut wires, so this is going to be 3 dice. He's got the wire cutters, so we need 1, 5, or a 6 to succeed to get us through. Yes, we've cut the wire very easily, and we are on our way home. So we're going to replace this with the wire cut symbol. The wire is cut, no event there, and we make it back to our trench lines. Mission accomplished. That was outstanding. Dave makes it back. Now we have to find out what happens to the fate, however, of Eric M., our bomber who got lost in the shattered forest. So to find out what Eric M., it's very simple. We roll for the men left behind. On a 1, he is dead. A 2, he's captured and a prisoner of war, out of action. 3 or 4, he makes it back but gets wounded. We'll find out how wounds work. And then a 5 or a 6, he makes it back safely. Yes! Eric M. makes it back safely. And with that, our 10-man patrol has made it back. Mission accomplished, not a single casualty. We were extremely fortunate. I've done some practice missions and nothing like this has happened. So the gods of war were shining upon us. Now that mission was incredibly fortunate for us. Nothing bad really happened. I can't believe that nobody got hurt. But I do want to show how things can go sideways in the game as well. So we're going to do a training mission now. That's just assuming that our soldiers here ran into some enemy trench raiders. This is event number 6 on the event chart. And we're going to walk through this event to see what potentially could have happened in terms of casualties and disaster for us. So let's take a look at the enemy trench raiders flavor text. You're not the only raiding party out tonight. You've just blundered into a raiding party from the enemy lines. You'd better fight quietly. If the enemy hears shots, he'll know you're coming. Roll a d6 to determine the odds. So on a 1, the odds are 2 to 1 in the enemy's favor. It is a very difficult fight. On a 2 to 5, the odds are 1 to 1, which is a difficult fight. And on a 6, the odds are 2 to 1 in your favor. We get a 3. So this is a difficult fight for us. Now, the instructions here are below. Each soldier must attempt a fight action. On a failed roll, the soldier takes 1 wound. On a botched roll, the soldier takes 2 wounds. The difficulty depends on the odds as above. After each soldier has undertaken his action, the event ends and the enemy trench raiders were either killed or driven off. So we're going to walk through now what this event could have looked like for our full patrol. We'll go through all of our 8 members here of our patrol that were there, saying we had run into this on the way back. And we'll use the current existing luck amount that we had. Now, this is a fight action and it's difficult. And I have generic fight numbers here for me, so that's 3 dice that I can use. Now, because it's difficult, we need 2 successes. And a fight action, so I'm using my club now. I get 0 successes. Okay, so that's not good at all. I'm going to burn a point up, because if we get 1 wound if we miss it, but I don't want to have to roll a botch roll, which means we would have to roll a botch roll if we have no successes. So we're going to try again, take out my club. Yes! 2 successes. Okay, so I've used up some luck, but let's go now to rifleman number 1. This is Nelms. He's already used up 2 of his luck. He will be using his rifle in this. It's a fight action. He's got 3 dice, so he's not shooting. It's just fighting with hand-to-hand combat. So we need 3 dice. He needs 2 successes for Nelms. He gets 1. Now, if we use the luck to re-roll this, he would have no luck left for the rest of the mission. And assuming we were going out in the rest of the mission, we're actually going to take the wound here. So we're going to not use up a luck point and we're going to take the wound so we can see how this would happen too. Now, we don't have to make a botch roll because we got 1 success. You only roll for botches if you have 0 successes. But let's see what happens here with the wound now for Nelms. So we're going to roll on a 2d6 on the wound location to see where it goes. A 7. It is a chest wound. Now you'll notice here the severity dice off to the right. The severity dice means we're going to roll 2 dice to figure out now how severe the wound is on this severity chart. And we're rolling the 2 dice, and the left-hand side says the highest die. So higher is better. If we get a 6, it's just a scratch. If we get 2 1s, it's dead. So let's see what happens to Nelms here. We're hoping for high numbers. Yes. Okay, so Nelms get just a scratch. It's a head wound, but it's a chest wound, but nothing serious. Let's go down to Parkera, who's fighting now. He's got regular amount. Oh, he's a pugilist, so he gets 4 dice. Excellent. So we need 2 successes from Parkera. Oh, we get 0 successes. He's going to use up some luck here. So we'll get rid of a luck token there for him, and we're going to re-roll all 4 dice. There, 2 successes. Parkera makes it through. Whacks one of these raiders upside the head. Scotzo has 3 dice for fights. He gets 1 success. Let's use a luck point to go for another success. We're going to leave the 5. No. Let's take the wound for Scotzo. Want to save some luck here. So we're going to roll 2d6 for the wound for Scotzo. There's a 7, another chest wound. Now we're going to roll for severity, hoping for a high number. We get a 5 and a 4. It is a light wound. So with a light wound to the chest here, we're going to mark this on Scotzo's chart. We mark that he has a light wound up here, and then it is -1 die to speed and strength. So over here, we're going to, I'm just going to put a little tick mark here beside speed and strength, meaning that we now know that these are -1 should he need to use those skills again. So that would be our first wound. Let's go now to Warboard, who is a pugilist. So he gets +1 die, 4 dice on his fight. He needs 2 successes, 2 6s. No problem. Using a club, he takes out an enemy warrior. Let's go to our next rifleman, who is Edward H. He gets 3 dice, needs 2 successes for this. He gets 1 success. Let's use a luck potion, a luck point there to see if we can get rid of, see if we can have more success here. We'll leave the 5 and re-roll. Oops, that was a 5, right? 4 and a 1, still nothing. We're going to take the wound. 2d6, let's see what happens. We get a 10. Ooh, a leg wound. Okay, so a leg wound, you notice the severity dice is different. We get to roll 3 dice for the severity of this one. Hoping again for a big number, just a scratch here for Edward. Ooh, we get a 4. So a 4 is a light leg wound. And that's the best we can do. Now, we can't use luck on these wound rolls. It's only on the skill checks that we can use our luck up. So light leg wound, -1 die to speed, strength, and fight. So speed, strength, and fight would lose a die in the future, and we mark a light wound up there to Edward. Getting towards the back of the line, we get to William C. He's strong, but he still only gets 3 dice in fighting. Oh, 2 successes. Outstanding. No problem. Lastly, we go down to Scott, who's carrying his Iron Cross now. He's courageous, but he still only gets 3 dice for success. He gets 1 success. Let's burn one of his luck points here to try for a second one. And he gets it. Ooh, 3 successes. No problem. So Scott would make it through. And so that shows basically a rough idea on how some of these more dangerous encounters could turn out. And you can get a sense too that, you know, we had quite a bit of luck points left, but on a longer mission that takes you up way up into no man's land or potentially into the enemy trenches, you're going to have several of those types of encounters. Or even if we hadn't been so lucky and found the wounded pilot so quickly, you could have several of these encounters. So deciding when to mitigate the danger with luck or when to just take a wound, for example. Now the wounded soldiers too, so Edward and Scotzo, you know, if they need their speed later, they're going to be at a greater disadvantage because now they've lost a dice, they've lost a die, and so things can compound and compile and go sideways very quickly after a few of these very dangerous events. Now that was even a difficult event, but a very difficult event where you need all successes, like an artillery barrage, can really turn a mission sideways quickly. So you can have a mission like we had, which was fairly innocuous, but it's also very, very plausible that you have something on the other end of the spectrum, which is really destructive to your patrol and could literally kill off half of them pretty quickly. So there we have it, a full mission from Trench Raid in Compass Games. I'd be curious to hear what you think of what you saw in terms of gameplay. I'd also like to thank our volunteers for stepping forward to be part of the patrol. Most of the time when I take volunteers from this, I take them from the paid Patreon members. If you'd like more details on that, there's links down below if you'd like to join up on that. I'm putting together now an impressions and light review video about Trench Raid from Compass Games. As soon as that's ready, I'll put a link up here to that video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.